Kickboxing is a global sport, with millions of people around the world participating in it. However, kickboxing isn't just a single style. Instead, it's an umbrella term for many different striking martial arts. Each of these different styles have their own unique traditions, techniques, and history. From the deep cultural roots of Thailand to the innovation in the Netherlands, culture has been significant in shaping how kickboxing evolved around the world. But how exactly do different cultures influence the sport? This is how culture created kickboxing. Thailand is the first country we are going to look at today, and it is home to one of the most destructive forms of kickboxing. This style is called Muay Thai, and what makes it different stylistically is the brutality of the sport. Unlike other forms of kickboxing where they use kicks, punches, and sometimes knees, Muay Thai incorporates 8 limbs, earning the nickname the Art of 8 Limbs. They use punches, kicks, knees, and elbows. This is because the martial art came from soldiers defending their homeland, where effectiveness was important. The martial art originates centuries ago, but was originally called Muay Baran, and that evolved into Muay Thai. Soldiers would practice the art to defend their homeland. For example, Nai Kanam Tom was captured by the Burmese and beat 9 other fighters in succession. Besides its use for defense, Muay Baran was used for entertainment. Events would be hosted at temples or palaces. Even royalty would participate. For example, King Rama helped make Muay Thai become the national sport of Thailand. To this day, Muay Thai maintains cultural ties. Even though Muay Thai is a very violent sport, respect is very important. Fighters perform a ritual before a fight to pay respect to their coaches, gyms, and ancestors, and this ritual is called Wai Kru. This dance demonstrates the importance of respect in Thai culture. Fighters also wear headbands called mongkong and armbands called prajiat for protection and good luck. Muay Thai shows that kickboxing goes beyond just competition and violence. It demonstrates how a martial art can reflect the history, culture, and values of a nation, while remaining a crucial part of identity for centuries. The 60s in Japan is considered a time of transformation both culturally and physically. Japan's economy skyrocketed during this time. This economic boom was so large, in fact, it was called the Japanese economic miracle. This meant people were making more money than ever and can finally afford entertainment, which led to mass consumerism. According to Daniel Knight, kickboxing originated during this time in Japan. It first started when karate fighters wanted to try out full contact competitions. These pioneers in kickboxing were inspired by the ferocity of Muay Thai and the precision of karate. This exchange of cultures laid down the blueprint for modern kickboxing. At the same time, and sorry if I butcher this, a man named Osamu Noguchi partnered with a karate expert named Tetsuya Yamada to create a new rule set. This new rule set allowed full contact strikes unlike karate, but banned the elbows and excessive clinching that's seen in Muay Thai. Since Japan was in an economic boom, TVs began to become common in every single household. As a result, Noguchi capitalized on this and broadcast kickboxing to national television. Kickboxing quickly became mainstream after that. As this expansion happened, weight classes, timed rounds, and promotions were introduced to furthermore organize the sport. A rivalry followed between Thailand's Muay Thai fighters and Japan's kickboxers due to kickboxing being so effective. This rivalry started frequent Japan versus Thailand events where elite fighters from Thailand would come over to compete against the new Japanese kickboxers to determine who's the best. Not only did this furthermore increase the popularity of the sport, but it also sharpened the techniques of both the Thai and Japanese fighters. This rivalry is still seen to this day, with Thai fighters going over to kickboxing to compete. An example of this is Rodtang vs Takaru 1. Both were widely regarded as the best in their sport at the time, both being champions in their weight classes. This event drew countless amount of fans and generated a $2 million gain. Eventually, kickboxing found its way out of Asia and spread to Europe. Without Japan's economic boom, consumerist culture, and rise of television and their exchange with Thailand during the 1960s, kickboxing would not be the global sport like it is today. The Netherlands is a bit of a different story than the other two. Unlike Japan, which developed due to economic conditions and ambitious promoters, or Thailand, where kickboxing evolved over centuries of tradition, the Netherlands is a bit more of a trial and error story. The Dutch used their losses to other styles to improve their style by fusing elements of both Muay Thai, kickboxing, and karate. Andrew Bryan explores this in the article What Is and Isn't Dutch Kickboxing. He explains how a Dutch student of a karate legend Mas Oyama named John Blooming taught karate to pioneers in Dutch kickboxing in the Netherlands in the 70s. One of those students was John Plaas, and he went to found a gym in Amsterdam. This later evolved into other gyms being set up, and these gyms had rivalries with each other, where they would sharpen their skills by competing against each other. The Dutch were aware of Muay Thai at this time, and they assembled a team of elite fighters to go to Thailand. Every single one lost. Rather than abandoning the sport, they treated the defeats as a lesson to improve their skill, which became a primary characteristic of Dutch kickboxing. They reflected on the loss and blamed it on a lack of clinching, knees, and elbows, where they began to practice those techniques. The competitive nature and willingness to adapt made Dutch kickboxers better and better. Eventually, they were able to go back to Thailand and became successful, like Ramon Dekkers, for example. This culture of improvement isn't just what established the sport, it's still ongoing today. Rico Verhoeven is a good example of this. He represents the evolution of Dutch kickboxing. Dutch kickboxing is known primarily for brutal knockouts, but Rico, however, focuses on more of an extremely technical, strategic style and showed it can be just as successful, being 60-10. The Netherlands demonstrates culture impacts kickboxing through constant innovation and adaptation. The Dutch built their style by learning after losses and refining technique. The mindset of constant improvement transformed the Netherlands into one of the most influential kickboxing nations in the world that continues to evolve to this day. The United States is a completely different story than the other countries I mentioned. Unlike the other countries I discussed that have a very prominent kickboxing scene, kickboxing never really found its way into the mainstream in the US the same way it did with other nations. Mark Ramiandi argues that this is due to American combat sports culture focusing more on entertainment and personalities than other areas. The WWE and UFC are examples of this. The audience becomes invested in not just the sport, but the people fighting and their backstory. Kickboxing isn't like this. Many large names in kickboxing don't act like a Conor McGregor or a Sean Strickland.
No man that beats out the cartoons is gonna beat me!
Who the f is that guy? Who the f is that?
As they let the fight speak for themselves. This isn't an effective strategy to captivate the American audience. A good example of kickboxing not working in the United States is someone like Alex Pereira.
Shamas!
Despite being a glory champion, he was considered unknown in the American mainstream. After his rise in the UFC, his popularity increased dramatically. This demonstrates the idea that American audiences lean towards MMA organizations over kickboxing. The United States demonstrates how culture can influence kickboxing even when failing to become mainstream. American audiences' preferences for entertainment and personalities help make organizations like the UFC and WWE flourish, while kickboxing organizations like Glory struggle to do the same despite having high-level competition. Although kickboxing is practiced throughout the world, no two styles develop the same way. Each was shaped by the culture, history, and values of the people who practiced it.